learn a little more about your culture, to taste your foods, your fruits, your pineapple, the best I've ever had anywhere in the world. Mr. President, Mama, Excellencies, Ministers, Members of Parliament, cultural and religious leaders, honorable guests, friends, today is a beautiful reminder that the family is not merely a basic social unit. It's an institution created by God. A healthy family is where parents act as positive role models, teaching values and life skills. With every bedtime story, every shared meal, every hug, every wiped tear, a child learns they are loved, and they learn how to love, and they develop virtues that equip them to someday begin healthy families of their own. As president of the Institute for Women's Health, we're grateful to be part of today's festivities because families are why we are here in Uganda. Research tells us that when families are healthy, women and girls are healthy, as are boys and men. But research also tells us that when women are healthy, their families are also more likely to be healthy. We're located in Washington, D.C., and our institute works with governments and other influencers to accomplish that goal. The family has been a priority here in Uganda for a very long time, but I first became acquainted with Uganda when the President and First Lady became international leaders, heroes really. I soon realized that the ABC approach was more than a fight against AIDS. It was a fight for families, the survival of families. In 2019, I saw Uganda continue their defense of family when I was serving as U.S. Special Representative for Global Women's Health under President Trump. Uganda joined the U.S. and other nations to make bold joint statements in international fora in defense of the family, in defense of women's health, in defense of life and your very sovereignty. Then, in 2020, Uganda's leadership again was on display as we worked together to craft a first ever international coalition of nations, the Geneva Consensus Declaration, the GCD. I was honored to negotiate it on behalf of the United States with Uganda and 4 other regional leaders, Brazil, Egypt, Hungary, and Indonesia. Since that time, this coalition has grown to 36 countries in every region of the world with 4 core values. Number 1, to protect the family as foundational to every healthy society. Number 2, to improve health and thriving for women and girls. Number 3, to declare there is no international right to abortion. Number 4, to defend the sovereign right of countries to defend these values without external influence. As regional leader, I hope that because of Uganda's leadership, every other African country will join this coalition. In February, the First Lady and our institute globally launched right here in Uganda, Protego Health, the Women's Optimal Health Framework at State House Entebbe, in a memorable event that began our partnership. Our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Alma Golden, who actually took the lead on developing that, is here for the first time with the Institute for Women's Health today, and I'm so glad she could be here. Our institute created the Protego model to defend and protect a nation and its people in the areas of health, education, law, and international policy. In May, we returned again with a newly created interministerial steering committee under Mama's leadership, and they will provide ongoing critical insight as together we craft policies and programs that can strengthen families, increase parent-child communication, improve health for women and girls, and help young people develop healthy life habits. And we're back here in Uganda for the same purpose this week. The Protego model is unique because it values the life of every single person, no matter how young, no matter how old. We respect the culture, traditions, religion, and values of the country. We identify research-based interventions that can empower a nation and bring diplomatic and legal tools to help a country understand the threats to those values and then to effectively defend against them. Imagine with me a nation that is so strengthened in its diplomatic proficiency that in negotiations with international actors, that nation takes the lead in those negotiations to defend family, life, and health, rather than surrendering even one bit of their sovereignty. Imagine a nation where laws and legal prevent undue foreign influence in domestic affairs, key to maintaining your sovereignty. Imagine a health and educational approach that brings generations together rather than tearing them apart. Imagine a family that is equipped to talk to children about even the most sensitive topics, so that when those children have questions, those children first go to their family rather than the internet or strangers for answers. And imagine a young person who, no matter where they go, they know they have support, where healthy habits are reinforced. And for those who feel hopeless, maybe for the first time in their lives, they know and they believe that their life has meaning, that they have value, that they have promise. This is the vision of Protego. Today, I see Uganda taking another step to further its role as a leader. With today's festival celebrating families, I hope this is the first of many more. So thank you, all of you who are here. Look around you. You are many. By your presence, you are showing your nation, Africa, the world, that you care about the future of our civilization because you treasure the family, our greatest national resource. We can think of families as the threads that weave together the fabric of society. And as we leave today, let's commit to weaving a tapestry so strong, so vibrant, that it can weather any storm. Truly, the masterpiece of a strong society begins with the artistry we create in our homes. May God richly bless you and the families here in Uganda. Thank you.
Your Excellency and the First Lady, the African country of Nigeria has the largest population on the continent, and the African country of Uganda has the largest variety of food on the continent. Uganda may not have the size of population of Nigeria, but at least we have more food than the Nigerians have, and I think we need to start to feed them. But what our brothers and sisters in Nigeria have done this morning, they have sent us a great man from there to come and speak to us, and when he's done speaking, perhaps we'll share with him some of the varieties of food. The only common food between Uganda and Nigeria is the yam. The difference is how the Nigerians eat it and how we eat it. At the risk of biting my tongue into several bits, let me invite Reverend Father Canis Chinyaka Enyaka.
He did a good job. He did a good job. Your Excellency, General Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Federal Republic of Uganda, our dear Mama, Her Excellency, Janet Museveni, the Chairman and founder of the Global Peace Foundation, Dr. Henjen Preston Moon, our dear mother, the wife of Dr. Moon, here present, the international president of the Global Peace Foundation, Mr. James Flynn, government representatives, religious leaders, guests from different parts of the world, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand on the existing protocol and thank the government of Ghana, the International Interreligious Council of Uganda, the government of Uganda, Global Peace Foundation for putting this festival together. This is the first in Africa. Please put your hands together for the organizers. God is love. The Lord of God is the Lord of love. God's order takes care of the world. And the first place to see the Lord of God, the order of God, is in the family. The eternal Lord of God, which we call the wisdom of God, that directs for a good purpose humanity, leads to the divine law, which is revealed in the holy books. And from the eternal law to the divine law, we move to the natural law, the rational person's participation in eternal law, the rational person's participation in eternal law. Then to the human law, which is the interpretation of the natural law. The natural law has a way of providing the tools to order the community, drawing from eternal law the wisdom of God for the well-being of the human community. And that's the reason God in the book of Genesis created man in his image. What did he do? He established this law of love, this order in what we call the family. And he said in his image he created them. The law of God, the eternal law, the divine law, the natural law, and the human law made it possible for nations. And of course you know that the human society is ordered in nations. In most nations of the world, we have what we call the Invocatio Dei, the invocation of God in the legal documents of the constitutions of nations, because we cannot do without God and his law and the order he has put in place. In the document of the Vatican II, known as Religious Freedom, the document started by talking about Dignitatis Humanae, and that's the name of the document, human dignity. And so God in the book of Genesis puts his love and his order in the family. Civilization as such started with the family. At the moment the human person deviated from that order, from that eternal law, from that divine law, from that natural law, the human person experienced chaos, destabilization, disorder. What it means is that in the family, God has put his law, God has put his love, and we are called to respect, to promote, to encourage the law of God, the love of God in the family. And this law of God, this love of God in the African culture, in the African tradition, in the African setting, we call it Ubuntu. I am because we are. That is why in Africa we don't so much talk about nuclear family. We emphasize extended family because family is community. And because family is community, I am because I participate. I am because we are. Everybody is a person through other persons. You cannot be in isolation. The family is a place of love. John Chrysostom calls the family the first society, the basic unit of every society. So the law of God infused in the family leads to the larger society. For any ethical society to be, the family must be respected as God ordered the family to be. The family must be promoted. The family must be promoted and secured. The security of the family is important today because the family is facing serious threat. And you know, when you destroy the family, no foundation can stand. No society can exist without the family. But what is important? What is important is the spiritual value, the spiritual heritage of every family. And this spiritual value is seen expressed in different ways when we talk about Ubuntu, Ujamaa, Harambe, Taranga in Africa. And this is what we celebrate today, the power of family. It is proper also to see how the religious leaders, communities can play a role in this. I close with this. A friend of mine, Alan Eman, we do what we call the kitchen coffee talk in Washington, D.C. Alan told me that his friend told him one day, I don't care about your theology. I don't care about your treatise. What I want to know from you is, what is your God telling you about how to treat me? That is what we do. How do we come together to solve problems? One family under God. God bless you.
I come here for a very simple task to invite Ambassador Kambula Milton, President of the Global Peace Foundation Uganda chapter, the vision bearer of why we are here.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a five-star general, retired, our President, our Jaja, Mama Janet Museveni, our mother, the First Lady, and the Minister of Education and Sports, the Vice President, and our keynote address leader, the founder and chairman of the Global Peace Foundation, Dr. Hyunjin Preston Mon. I want to say it's a special day, special day, special day. We thank God. Tell your neighbor, welcome to the Interreligious Family Festival 2024. Tell your neighbor, welcome, welcome to the festival 2024, Family Festival. Your Excellency, sir, I want to first of all thank you for accepting to be with us on this occasion, the first of its kind in Africa, but also globally, because we are making history of securing the space of what God created as a family of us, shaping the future of heaven. Tell your neighbor, welcome again. I want to also thank Interreligious Council of Uganda for taking ownership of this vision, mobilizing us, coordinating us, and facilitating the whole process of making sure we are here today. Please, first of all, thank the President and thank Interreligious Council together in one hand clap and say, God, thank you for combining these two great leaders, two great institutions for this to happen. I want to thank the Global Peace Foundation that is operating globally to secure the peace of the world. Please, again, thank Global Peace Foundation and the teams that have come from more than 20 countries to come here and celebrate the institution and the sanctity and the holiness of the family. Your Excellency, I want to say to everyone that we are here inspired by the ideal of one family under God, as championed by the testament we are signing today, right here in Kololo Independence Grounds. We also affirm that Uganda understands a 10,000-old civilization that indeed, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, regardless of political parties, regardless of nationalities and the borders that are dividing us, we are truly and truly one family under God. I want to affirm on this historic occasion that indeed we are interconnected in that vision, that God did not create us as FDC, as DP, as NRM, as all those things that divide us right now, beyond global south, global north fighting. Everyone is fighting. Skins of our colors are fighting. We are saying no, no. Uganda is signing today to tell the rest of the world that we are one family. Your Excellency, sir, I want to therefore tell the world that what can bridge us right now is to celebrate every day who we are. Who we are. Tell your neighbor, who we are as Africa. Who we are as people in the global south and in the global north. To say that we are one family and that we share common shared values of Ubuntu. Living for greater good, compassion, sharing, forgiveness, practices of peace and forgiveness, love. That is what defines the definition of God saying, let us create somebody like us in our godliness. And so we will not behave contrary to what is in the scripture. If then we say we are human beings, we must do what God designed us in the original composition and menu of humanity. Then it is through that we will be able to end identity-based conflicts, wars, violence, radicalization. And then we can nurture a new nation that is focused to fulfill a heavenly vision. That then our leadership can work, our families can work, the economy can be fixed, technology can be guided. Then we can say a world free of guns. Tell your neighbor, world free of guns. And a world free of poverty, because we could have to share what we have. As I conclude, and then invite the keynote speaker. We are saying, Your Excellency, and we are here to pay a testimony that for us to be able to achieve human rights as designed by the United Nations, the economic prosperity and the vision that we have, the democracy that we want to achieve, the environmental conservation, the good governance, and all this, the family must be stable first. The family must be the focus of all programming, of the national budget, of the policies we are acting in Parliament, our leadership. How is the family feeling the mindset of everyone in the family? Do we have a database? How are they thinking? What are their conducts? Then we can talk about the rest. Your Excellency, we are here also to explore best practices in championing the family. Those 5,000 years ago, what happened is what we want to fix today. Tell your neighbor, we want to fix that today. Your Excellency, I now take this permission to now introduce to you your friend, Dr. Hyunjin Preston Moon, who believes in peace and who believes in your leadership. He believes in the vision of one family under God, and he founded it and is going around the world. But allow me to introduce this man to you in a video, a small 1-minute video. Then you listen carefully, my friends. The work of this great man of God is doing, uniting religions, kingdoms, governments, and very importantly, providing models for even the global north to be able to listen and respect the global south. That's the man that you invited here today. And a huge delegation from over 20 nations here today, and the Ugandans. Please clap for yourselves as the video is coming. Please put the video right on the screen so that we know who this man is and the meal he's bringing to us, so that we have love in our families. We have forgiveness in our families. Therefore, we can even learn to love our country, so that we can even build a Uganda as the one family, not as tribes only or political parties, but as the Ugandan family, a model for the world. Please put the video, and we learn something from that video.
Sky TV, irakari abantu. yashemera 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 neruga rwagasha.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the Ankole cultural experience. Oguno mukoro oguru kwija kubaho ebiro binabyo kwa mushanju omwakogu harabaho kushemererwa okurya okutagura okusoma okugambe nganda zitu z'abanyankore obwo abakaro karungi troupe baro kuhereza byeshongoro ebyitu byenzarwa okutaho mukoro ogu ni shiringi omutwaro gumwe hamwe n'emitwaro 3 VIP emitwaro 30 emeza y'abantu mukaga obwo byona nahaba hariho icyo kunywa na n'icyo kurya aha ticket yawe yoragure omukoro ogu gukuretirwa bakaro karungi troupe hamwe na Laksa Bar and Grill bishagikirwe Eco Highland Adventures reka tubuganireyo.
Skylight Hotel, eresra uhereza bwo muremba muri Mbarara City. Ahi barukereza breakfast, ngakatogo, omelette, Rolex, shumbusha, chapati, chai yamate, eyo mukaru, akatunda ko murembe nebindi.
Bineona chamushanere kutandika shamu kagazi hangwe. Nibateke nkoko, embuzi, echenyanja, muchamo, obushaza, akaro, echitoche, echozi, emondi, greens, obutura, eshwiga, kande chokunywa, nichigenderaho.
Hey, manya bino buraro burunji bwo murembe. Aha bei nunji, kandi warara Skylight Hotel Mbarara City, breakfast ne yabusha, bine rooms eziri self-contained, DSTV, security rije, kandi parking ne yemarira.
Bine bara yo murembe, pool table, sauna na steam bath, hamwe na conference hall.
Skylight Hotel, neshangwa omuri Mbarara City, wahingura kache aha Vision Empire, orguto rwatora katete. Ijukangu, nibo ba director ba Skylight Hotel rukunjiri. Ebirukiraho, tera notu mushanju mwenda, 18, 58, 38. Ninga notu mushanju notu mukaga, 36, 36, 36.
Nikukogwa babosi clinics and teleke massage services wari kwenda kushubura geresime ya 082 0 kinana na mukaga 35 nange ya 0 kinana na mukaga 35 nwomunugura gukutamise bindi byona
Omagaragezeji arhembere eri kutuhindura tukabeche chituri embereji eri kuhindura amazoba engendo narishi ebitebyo bitu nambwe no mumberejo bitwantoronde kintu cyo mutana habindi namunonge kintu kiri kubasa kureta hecho kutangaza omagaragitu naniwe gabana haburungi bwa Wonders Family Jelly izoba ryawe riberyo mutano gakoziro mbirungo ebirikuhezo mbiri gukagarika busya ukagira mani wena ukasigara no kuraje Wonders Family Jelly nuko majuta agine kuguma harubaju neka yawe.
Wonders, always wonderful. Yagurra Zuku TV decoder na satellite dish erizoba aha kabei kache emitwaro 89 zonka kandi Zuku decoder aha mitwaro 8 zonka rero shemererwe obwo rwerebera channels nunji nka series ezabana music amahure agaloko hamwe na gaheru yihanga nezindi nyingi yerebere Zuku Smart aha mitwaro 12 zonka Zuku Smart Plus aha mitwaro 16 Zuku Classic aha mitwaro 25 Zuku Premium amtware 35 yagite aha Zuku erizoba buzima oshemererwe.
Sky TV irakari abantu
around the globe, but mostly dealing with religious extremism around the globe. In 2009, Dr. Moon founded the Global Peace Foundation and currently serves as its chairman. Active in over 20 nations, Global Peace Foundation promotes and implements an innovative values-based approach to peace building, guided by the vision of one family under God. This work began in Africa, Your Excellency, amidst unrest and conflict in Kenya, our neighbors, after electoral disputes. In 2010, the Global Peace Convention, which was hosted by His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, brought together the two groups or parties of Raila Odinga, Right Honorable, but also the government on the round table to discuss peace for Kenya. He has been very critical in the shaping of the new constitution of Kenya. And so I think we clap for him because he did a big job in Kenya for that process. GPF, which he leads, has been recognized for its indispensable role in mitigating post-electoral violence in Kenya, but also around the world. But to cut this profile much shorter, I want to say that, Your Excellency, Dr. Moon has been in Nigeria and shaping peace-building initiatives through Nigeria. He has been in West Africa for long, East Africa for long, in Asia particularly, now uniting North and South Korea to neutralize the nuclear threat of North Korea. But he's now leading the biggest civil society agency and is bringing 10 million people to fight and promote and defend the unification of Korea as one nation. That is the battle you are also fighting, Your Excellency, to unite Africa as one nation. Please clap for His Excellency, because that is the battle we want to win right in the next 2 years. I think it is about to happen. Dr. Hyunjin Preston Moon is also the driving force of the largest Korean reunification movement, which I have talked about. At the heart of all of Dr. Hyunjin Preston Moon's heart and work is the understanding of the centrality of the family and its important role in cultivating the next generation. That's why he's here, to work with you, Your Excellency, and your government to make sure to have a mutu yena tuzanyira kotata. Lastly, as I invite him now in one statement, is that him and his wife, his beautiful wife, married for many years, have given us 8 children. No. Yes, there are 9 children. Please, mumukubire mungawa inabana, musaja inabana. And today he has 8 beautiful grandchildren. Naye jaja, mumukubire mungalo is also a jaja. You are welcome, Preston Moon. Moon are proudly parents, and they are here to share with you a message about how we can build our families. I now take the honor, Your Excellency, through your permission, sir, on behalf of my nation, Uganda, and as a citizen of this indigenous and powerful nation, the heart of Africa, to invite Dr. Hyunjin Preston Moon. Please come forward and talk to us and give us the food of the spirit, the food of the flesh, the food of our nation, so that we can build Uganda basing on its family, so that Africa can learn from us as it has always been. Please join me in giving a hand of applause and welcome Randala's hands of applause to Dr. Preston Moon. You are welcome to Africa once again. This is a moment that Africa is going to bring the heavenly family on earth to be able to drive people and their values, so that we end corruption, unemployment, and all this cutting down of trees. Others are going in our swamps. Tell your neighbor, that must end today. Thank you. You're welcome, Chairman and the founder of Global Peace Foundation. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Let us all give. Your Excellency, President Museveni and Madame, the leaders of the Interreligious Council, many foreign dignitaries that have come today, friends, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Family Festival here in Uganda. I feel the excitement and the energy of the young people in the crowd today. I want to ask you permission, if I may take off my protocol and come be with you. Can I do that, yes or no? I'm reminded of Proverbs 29:18, where it is said, if the people have a vision, if the people do not have a vision, they shall perish. But if the people have a vision that can guide them into their future, then tremendous things can happen. And what is that vision that I want to share with you today? That vision is a vision that can unite all the disparate varieties of the human family. For it allows all of humanity to strip ourselves of our pretensions, whether they be our religious pretensions, our national pretensions, our racial pretensions, our ethnic pretensions, and recognize that before God, we are first and foremost one family under God. That is the vision for this age that can inspire generations of men and women, for it harkens back to the eternal truth that was evidenced in the book of Genesis. For the book of Genesis teaches us that the purpose of creation, as God created men and women in His image, He had created them. The purpose of creation is the family. A family of a man and a woman who are co-creating with God in building His substantial kingdom of heaven and earth, which is the family. I want to I can hear you. I can hear you. Now let's let your voices be heard, not only in Uganda, but to the rest of the world. Say with me, one family under God. I'm going to teach you. I shall teach you a Korean word today. Settle down, because I'm going to teach you a Korean word. And it's a very important word because it means I shall become the owner. I shall become the owner. Not my neighbor, not my brother, not my sister, but I shall become the owner. For transformations happen when we take ownership over a dream. I want to share with you a quote from a famous man from Asia who united the entire Eurasian continent. He said, if one person has a dream, it is but a dream. But if everyone shares in that dream, it becomes a reality. The dream for this age that I want to share with you is not the dream of any one man, one family, but it should be the dream of every human family that exists in this world. So when I say one family under God, you should say, Aju, which means I'm going to be the owner of it. Shall we try that? One family under God. One family under God. One family under God. Now stop. I want to see how much energy and ownership you have, because now I'm going to separate the crowd. So on this side, the middle, and the left, I want to see how much ownership you have over the stream of one family under God. Okay? Starting with this side. One family under God. One family under God. I don't know. Let's try the middle here now. One family under God. Shall we try again? One family under God. What about the right side here? Maybe this is where the power is. One family under God. Whoa. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. One family under God. Whoa. I think something is starting over here. Now you heard them. You heard their energy. Let's try to match that energy with our ownership. One family under God. Whoa. One family under God. Whoa. This is tremendously a momentous occasion that I've come here, because I'm not here just to share the vision of one family under God with you. I want you to own this dream and this vision, each and every one of you, each and every one of your families. One of the things that we need to create to show the world and spread the message of one family under God is a movement that my father founded decades ago. And that movement showed the world the importance and the sanctity of family. For the confusion in the West has challenged what families are made of. But we know, because I was told, that here in Africa, you have not abandoned God. You have not abandoned God. I was told that here in Africa, you recognize that marriage and family is between a man and a woman that is co-creating with God. Beyond any religious tradition, because that is a universal truth and that is a universal ideal. That a movement to sanctify the truth of marriage, the truth of family, beyond any religious tradition, to make it a universal, absolute truth. Do you think that movement is necessary? Yes or no? And it is here in Africa, based upon an African renaissance, that I want to inspire. But first, starting with a great awakening for all great things happen with a great spiritual awakening. And that great awakening is that we have to be the owners of the vision of one family under God, one family at a time. And thus, we need to start a movement that sanctifies and glorifies the ideal of marriage, the ideal of family as an absolute truth. And that is the blessing movement. One of the key things that makes the Global Peace Foundation and its message, as well as its interfaith track, so significant and different from all the interfaith tracks of the past, is that it recognizes that there are universal truths embedded in all the religious traditions, that no one religion has the providence over truth, that God inspired all the religious traditions of the world, and therefore, based upon universal principles and values, people of faith, of all backgrounds, of all pretensions, can come together and identify and glorify God by uplifting His ideals in the world around us. And the greatest and the most significant of those ideals is family. Family. The school of love. Family. Where we learn the four realms of love. Where we learn to be good sons and daughters. Where we learn to be good brothers and sisters. To be our brother's keepers. Where we learn to be good husbands and wives. And where we learn to be good fathers and mothers. This is a universal ideal. This is not an ideal that is owned by any one faith or tradition. It is a universal spiritual ideal. And the blessing movement is a movement to sanctify it.
Sky TV, irakari abantu. Sky TV. iraka ly'abantu.
Kigezi Universal Drama Actors bakuletera omuzano musya live a stage mu byanga byanyu
rukundo ya volongoto omuzano gori kureba okasheka okakwenkwenuka nangwa no kurirokarira
birabiri na mushanju Nyakaziba town birabiri na munana omukajani town birabiri na mwenda mabono Roma 13 Kabushogera kibanza cyo kwazi kwa mushanju Ntara town birabiri byo kwazi kwa mushanju Rwenkobwa town birabishatu byo kwazi kwa mushanju Ishongororo birabiri na Busirba kandi birabitanu Kamwenje biramukaga bigodi kandi biramushanju bashange Kahunje biramunana byo kwazi kwa mushanju bashange Rwamwanja biramwenda byo kwazi kwa mushanju bashange Biguri kandi biri kumi bashange Migamba ebiri 11 bashange Kazinga ebiri 12 bashange Cyakampara ebiri 13 bashange Rushango town ebiri 14 bashange Kanyaruziri town kandi ebiri 15 bashange Nkungu ebiri 16 bashange Mukatongore ebiri 10 mushanju baryo mu Kitongore Kigeiga kandi ebiri 18 bari Kaza mu town ebiri 18 bashange Rushere ebiri 20 bari Ibando mu town kandi ebiri 21 bari Bwizibwero mu town.
When the message is given to recognize the moment in time in which we live, the providential moment in time in which we live, and the role that we must play to not only affect the future of our people, our nation, our region, and the continent of Africa, but the world. For the African Renaissance will not be just an African Renaissance. It will lead the world based on a moral reawakening that will celebrate the ideal of one family under God, one family at a time. That is why I'm here. Now imagine, I was told, and I'm guilty of being a dreamer. But remember, it's dreamers that change the world. It's dreamers that change the world. And I want to dream that that the beginning of that blessing movement that sanctifies the ideal of marriage will start here in the heartland of Africa. The nation of Uganda that sits on the greatest lake on this continent, that represents the womb of Africa, that a new rebirth can happen upon this continent based upon a new vision of one family under God. And the Ugandan people rising up and aligning and owning that vision, that great awakening can spark a renaissance across the entire landmass of the continent and eventually inspire the West, who have lost their Judeo-Christian heritage, that have abandoned God, to remind them that for the Judeo-Christian civilization that champion fundamental freedoms and human rights around the world, that ideal comes from God. As the Declaration of American Independence so rightly states, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, meaning freedom and rights come from God, not from any nation state. And then it goes on to continue that if a nation state cannot abide by those rights that God has given to humanity, then it is the right and the duty of its citizens to get rid of that government and build a nation that can secure and protect those rights for its citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, in this era of modern, democratic, constitutional governments, the most important ingredient that was lost is God and the ideal of His transcendent authority and power, giving humanity of those rights. It's not democracy. It's not government. It is God. And that is one of the reasons why, in order to bring this transformation, we need to invite God first into our hearts into our families, into our nation, into this region of East Africa, and bring about a new African Renaissance. Can you do that, yes or no? Those of you who are committed to be the owner of the vision of one family under God and become the agents of change and transformation on this continent and in the world, stand up. Stand up. You young people back there too, stand up. Stand up. And say with me when I say, one family under God, I want you to resonate together and say, Aju. Are we ready? One family under God. One family under God. One family under God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, twagambyeko nti Kasavu Kanyama kati kankuleetereyo poemu olabeko ku bazzukulu Gayaza High School banange leeta poemu Gayaza High School. Oh, I think there is something that is going to be performed before we bring Gayaza High School. Gayaza High School, one lady has a poem. Gayaza High School people are ladies, and that's how they walk. Then after that we shall have Beranyangi girls. Beranyangi girls, get ready.
The President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, all protocol observed, good afternoon. I am Serena Septa Asio, a proud Muzukulu representing Gayaza High School with a poem entitled Webare Noga. O Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hands. We lay our future in thy hand. We have laid our future in thy hand that gave us a father who has secured our future, our morality, our heritage, our ethnicity, and our right to be a people. I am proud to be born in a country where praying in Assalamu alaikum does not get me killed, where believing in the name of the Lord Jesus does not get me buried in the ground. A country blessed with able leaders that have molded our motherland into a family blessed in diversity, bred on unity. Mother, Father, you envision in me a life outside the kitchen, a life where the only black I am meant to see is not the color of suit, but the color of the blackboard. Mama Netata Museveni. You have taught us not to succumb to conformities, but to remain rooted in our African heritage and on the faith we are best on. For God and my country. For God and my country does not stop in just our motto, but it resonates within the woman I am proud to call my mother, the mother of this motherland, a symphony that calms us with a big heart, you have reached out and been a mother to the motherless through USO. You have provided a home for the homeless in Luwero and Musulita. You are a pearl shimmering amidst the darkness, an anchor, an inspiration, and overall a mother. Mama Janet, tweyanziza nnyo mama, tweyanziza nnyo tata, webale kunoga, Katonda, may the Lord bless you. Assalamu alaikum for God and my country.
His Excellency Yoweri Museveni. nation and all over the world. Our gratitude to the Inter-Religious Council led by Archbishop Stephen Kazimba for promoting unity among the people, irrespective of their religion. We must go on, together as one. We must go on. We must move on and try together as one nation, because Uganda is one, the only one in Africa. We must move on and try together as one nation, because Uganda is one, the only one in this world. Fellow countrymen, let's play our roles as good citizens. Listen to this message. We are the ones to rise around. We are the ones to build a nation. We are the ones to promote quality education. We are the ones to rise around. We are the ones to build a nation. We are the ones to ask for accountability. Listen. Fellow countrymen, let's play our roles as good citizens. Listen to this message. We are the ones to rise around. We are the ones to build a nation. We are the ones to uphold the African values. We are the ones to rise around. We are the ones to build a nation. We are the ones to promote social responsibility. Celebrating faith, family, freedom and vision of one family, and a voice for African united. Celebrating faith, family, freedom and vision of one family, and a voice for African united.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and the First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, at this juncture, we would like to hand over to the Director of Ceremonies for this function. My name is Alice Awoli Muwanguzi, Special Presidential Assistant, Office of the President.
And my name is Samson Kasumba. I am a news anchor for NBS Live at 9.
Thank you very much, Awoli and Samson, for leading us through up to this time. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Baba wa Taifa, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, our father, and Mama Janet Museveni Kataha, the First Lady and the Minister for Education and Sport, and the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Mama. On behalf of Honorable Muruli Mukasa, the Chairman, Organizing Committee, I would like to take this opportunity opportunity to welcome you and Mama, welcome our Mama, the Vice President, Mama Jessica Alupo Rosepel, our dear ministers here present, and I will introduce them, our dear cultural leaders, our dear religious leaders, our dear religious institutional organizations, our parents, our dear students, our dear invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this honor to introduce the following. Your Excellency, honorable ministers have graced this occasion. Honorable Betty Amongi Akena is the minister in charge of Gender, Labor and Social Development. She's here present. Honorable Rose Lily Akelo is the minister in charge of Ethics and Integrity in the Office of the President. Honorable Kabyanga Godfrey Baruku Chime is the Minister of State, ICT and National Guidance. Honorable Alice Kaboyo Karamzi is the Minister of State, Ruero Rwenzori Triangle under Prime Minister. Let me also take this opportunity to introduce your guests from the cultural leaders. Owek Patrick Lwanga Mugumbule, Speaker of Buganda Luchiko, who is representing the PM Buganda Kingdom. You are most welcome, sir. Isabaruli, the King of Buruli Kingdom, and the Chairman of Uganda Kings and Cultural Leaders Forum is here present. His Royal Highness Robert Obara Wanyama, King of Bugwe, is here with us. Right Honorable Ambassador George Atim is also here with us. Let me also take this opportunity to recognize the Interreligious Council of Uganda, the Council of Presidents. His Eminence Metropolitan Jeronimus Muzei, Archbishop Uganda Orthodox Church. Apostle Dr. Joseph Serwada, the presiding apostle born again faith in Uganda. His Eminence Sheikh Muhammad Ali Waiswa, the first deputy Mufti of Uganda, is representing the Mufti. Bishop Emeritus Masereka Zebedi, South Rwenzori Diocese, is representing the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda. Musinya Dr. John Baptist Kauta, Secretary General Uganda Episcopal Conference, and representing the Chairman Uganda Episcopal Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome distinguished ladies and gentlemen who have graced this occasion. We have international guests from US, from around Africa, and from Uganda here. We have political leaders, cultural leaders, business people, public servants, mothers. We have mothers here. You are most welcome, our mothers. We have fathers around. You are most welcome. We have teachers. We have musicians. We have young people, security, and the media. I also take this opportunity to introduce, I'm also married. I've been married for the last 34 years. Tomorrow will be our 34th anniversary. I'm married to Mr. Mugasaloisius, the man, not a woman. Mr. Mugasaloisius, stand up for recognition. This is a brief from Honorable Muruli Mukasa. The Interreligious Council of Uganda organized the Family Festival 2024 here in Kampala, in conjunction with the Global Peace Foundation and Government of Uganda. Today, we are targeting to revitalize the family values and African Renaissance. Honorable Muruli Mukasa would like to inform you that you and First Lady Mama Janet Museveni will be honored during the Family Global Peace Foundation as champions of family and family values in Africa. You have promoted family, culture and religious freedom, Ubuntu spirit. I would like also to inform you that the award will be bestowed upon you by Dr. Hyun Jin Preston Mon, the founder and chairman of Global Peace Foundation. The organizing committee was led by Honorable Muruli Mukasa, the Minister in charge of Public Service, but he's not around today to celebrate with us the family day. The family day, he's very indisposed, and we pray for quick recovery. And Ministry of Gender, Minister of Education, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Internal Affairs, and the Interreligious Council, the Global Peace Foundation Uganda chapter have also joined him in the preparations for the festival. Therefore, I take this honor to introduce our next speaker, who is Mama Janet Museveni Kataha, the First Lady of the Republic of Uganda. She is our resilient mother, very prayerful woman. She has stood by her husband. She has nurtured children. She has been there for the husband because politics is not an easy game. Our president has been a freedom fighter. She has been there for the family. Mama Janet, our prayerful woman, the graceful First Lady, can you take to the podium and address us?
Sky TV, irakari abantu. Sky TV, irakari abantu.
Purposes for nations. The idea of a family festival could not have come at a better time, given the significant challenges the countries are facing across the globe in regard with sustaining the values and morals essential for an integral and productive society. God's intention at the time of creation was for the family to be the foundation for the nurture of children as responsible members of society, from a spiritual, social, cultural, and moral perspective. Regrettably, today, the cherished tradition of African family system is increasingly being weakened with new family patterns and cultures spreading across the continent like a wildfire. As a result of the influence of globalization and other factors. We are also currently experiencing the extended family structure, which is an intrinsic component of our cultural heritage, negatively impacted by internal and external forces, such as multiculturalism, Western education, and some misconceived religious belief systems. And yet, for centuries, the concept of family from the religious and cultural perspective was always true, and it taught true love, forgiveness, and support. Therefore, this family festival that brings us all together to celebrate the vision of one family under God inspires great hope for the future. I believe that through unity and oneness of purpose, Ugandans from every sphere of society can work together to reposition and redeem our rich African culture for the benefit of the younger generation. In this regard, the government has put in place policy frameworks, institutions and legislation such as the Traditional and Cultural Leaders Act. And this is a significant entry point for cultural institutions to advocate for and strengthen the positive cultural norms, values and customs which have always been the hallmark of the African family and its heritage. I therefore appeal to religious and cultural leaders who are government significant partners in strengthening the family unit to promote the coexistence of positive cultural and religious values and beliefs for the good of our society. Similarly, we all have a duty to purge out of our society cultures that are offensive and that corrupt our people. We must also guard our society against the horrendous practices of defilement, child sacrifice, and molestation in the name of fulfilling culture. I appeal to all Ugandans and everybody gathered here today, and those who are not even here, but perhaps listening or watching, to make the effort to teach and model these positive values for the benefit of the next generation and for our children to have role models to look up to. Through these efforts and by the grace of God, we will progressively witness families and a nation devoid of vices such as juvenile delinquence, moral decadence, corruption, and substance abuse. These are some of the vices that have torn asunder the African family unit. As I conclude now, allow me to thank the Interreligious Council of Uganda and the government of Uganda for organizing a national celebration to honor the family. Thank you all for turning up in good numbers to celebrate the Family Festival 2024. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to invite the President to address us all as we listen. I thank you and God bless you.
Sky TV yakuletera ekisya omuli bulenje rw'izooba oyine emikoro ya buli kika enkiiko zoona emikoro y'amashomero
Her Excellency the Vice President, the Honorable Ministers, the Reverend Moon, our visitor who spoke today, the Honorable Members of Parliament, the religious leaders, the cultural leaders, all of you, the parents, and all the Bazukuru. Abazukuru muri mutya. Abazukuru muri je. La Kwara, Tia Mabel. Apoyo Rubanga. Now, when you talk of the family in Africa, it is a very important topic. Among the Banyankore, one of the African groups, the word for family, you have a number of words. You can say Amaka, meaning your home family, but you can also use the word Okombeka, which means to build. And when you use that word Okombeka, it has got a number of elements under it. Number one is the fear of God. In the Okombeka. And by the way, this is not just the modern religion, even traditionally. And in the tradition, you are also to respect the departed ancestors. Some people misunderstand that. They think that it is unchristian, but I don't believe that. I don't agree with it. Fear God, respect the spirits of the ancestors who departed. That's number two. Number three, care for the family members who are with you, who are alive. The fear was that if you did not care for the relatives who are alive, the spirits of the departed ancestors may be angry with you. That was the traditional religion. That was element number three. Number four, make wealth. Have wealth. You must have wealth. Amaka galina okubeera n'obugaga, amaka galina okuba n'ebyobugayiga. Pacho must have lonyo. If you have got a head of the family who is not a wealth creator, we don't refer him as the head of the family. We refer to him as a chirare, a vagabond. So that is number four. Or, I don't know what it is number four. God, ancestors, relatives, and wealth, number 4. Then number 5, children. You must have children. That is number 5. Number 6, if they are still alive, and you must obey them. Number 7, education. Education, even traditionally, in the traditional way, you had to learn how to fight. That was one of the main instructions you had to undergo, fighting. But also, some of the people learned other things, like a myoga, the one we are telling you about, a myoga like skills, farming, defending the country, both in the past and now. So therefore, when we got in touch with the new people, the Europeans and the Arabs, because the first Arab who came here was 1841. That's about 180 years from now. Then we had adopted the new religions, Christianity, Islam, and some of the Asian religions, which are practiced by our Asian people. Now, these religions, we are definitely a value addition to our tradition. And that's what I advise. I say, you people, these religions did not come to replace our base. It was to enrich. And when you take it like that, you will not go wrong. Like the food. Me, I eat African food. I'm now going to be 80 years old. But I don't eat rice because I'm not an Asian. I don't eat bread because I'm not a European. I eat, you know our food, the ones we eat, you know them. And so on. So therefore, the modern religion, Christianity, Islam, and the others, added value to whatever we are doing. Like Jesus, when Jesus taught us especially to love our enemies, this was a new guidance, because he said, love your enemies, because if you only love your friends, how are you different? How are you different from the pagans? Because they do the same. Now, this definitely was value addition. And other elements of the Christian instructions added value. Therefore, nobody who knows what he's talking about should say there is a conflict between the modern religions and the basics of our traditional ways of life. They add value. But the traditional ways had some weaknesses which we should get rid of. The mistreatment of women, they are not attending to the children so much. Even rivalries among families. This was the Banyankwete called Okwesimirana. A rich family boasts that we are better than you the poor family. And rivalries among families, Amahari, Obuja, Nyeko. So therefore, I'm very glad that you organized this family day. We here are very firmly behind the family as the base of society. Those who are preaching the other line are definitely not right. We know about the homosexuals and the lesbians, and we have told our people, our friends from the West, that homosexuality, after we had analyzed it, we found that it was a deviation from normal. It happens rare in nature, but it is a deviation. Now, the Western countries are trying to say, no, it is not a deviation, it is an alternative way of life. And for us, we say, no, it is not. We cannot have two ways of life. The normal way of life is one. This is a deviation. It happens rare in nature. We shall not kill them, but we shall not propagate their line. I'm therefore glad that you have organized this day. And I want to thank the Global Alliance of Dr. Moon for bringing this occasion here. Thank you so much. Now, you, the Bazukuru, you need to take life very seriously. Temuzanyi sabulamu. You must be very strict with your life. When you are young, listen to your parents, study, go to school. When you come back from school, you can help your parents. At home, doing light work. The parents also should learn not to overstrain the young people, but they should expose them to what the family is doing. When our children were growing up, I used to go with them to Rajtura with Mama, and they would follow me when I'm going to the cows. I would walk with them. I would not leave them in the house just watching cartoons only. No. say, you come and we go to the cows. They would not graze the cows, but they would see. So the parents should expose their children to life, to work. Not make them overwork, but show them. Then you the young people, you should study your books. Study so that you get knowledge. Of course, in the school system, we are trying to change the syllabus, not overwork the children so much, so that they don't think that education is a punishment. It should be done in a pleasant way. We are working on it with the Ministry of Education. In the meantime, as you reach puberty, please, you are not a married man at puberty or a married woman. You should not engage in sex. Mulya banange akakufuru musibe wali you look that's part of the area. Are you hearing me? You are pretending not to hear me. Mwefura ntumula jaja byagamba. I'm telling you that don't try to be a wife when you are not married. And don't try to be a husband when you are not married. A husband wa chikachi, what are you now? Oli kuchi okumala gakola ebitali kigendererwa, to do things which have no purpose. So you should concentrate on your studies. You study, you do sports. Sports is very good to build up stamina, but also use that youthful energy. The youthful energy, don't put it in Wamaraya, put it in sports and study. Then when you finish your education, may I encourage young people to get married. 22, 23 there, is how to say. Then you can get a family and you plan. Then you can have sex for a long time. Kati mubaremu okugumikiriza to persevere, and you start at 23. By the time you are 90, how much would you have had? Is that not a long time? But for you, okujabirira to stampede, and you start having sex when you are 14, 15, 16, and then you get AIDS, and then you get sick, or you get into problems, you will be miserable for all your life. Kati ekibaro bannange, ekibaro ky'obulamu, mukitegedde abazzukulu, ekibaro mukitegedde. The Bible says there is time for everything. Buli kintu kirina obukiseera kyakyo. Omwana si mukazi, omwana si mwami, omwana alina okukola eby'abaana, omukulu n'akola eby'abakulu. Mu ngeri esaanidde tutegeeraganye. Oba nyongereko obwino. Ndowooza oyo obwino amala. So I want to thank Reverend Moon. I have never met him. I've been hearing about him, especially for his message of telling you that the human race is one family. That's a good message. But I'm also glad to hear that he's working on the confusion between North and South Korea. I can see there is a clever Korean. Because I don't see what I have told those Koreans who come to see me that they should not allow to be used by those who want to keep them divided. North and South Korea should unite. I was telling somebody recently, when North and South Vietnam united, what happened? What is the problem? So I'm glad to hear that somebody knows what he's doing in the world. I want to salute the Reverend Moon. Thank you very much for coming, all of you. Abazukuru nsanyusa okubalaba bannange. Bulijjo muyimba ennyimba zammwe ez'abavubuka. Naye nange nnezange ez'obujjajja. The police band nteekeramu kino kyekiseera mulire ennyimba z'obujjajja. put for us the one of the Kaunda. Tuyende pamoja n'umutima umo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now you should do your very vigorous dances, which I normally see you doing. Jumping up and down. Na yene zo bujaja na zote mzera vida. Zinyumye. Thank you. I wish you good luck. Katonda babere.
Ekanimpango kana kajajiro ekanimpango The second one will be sign the family vision statement for Africa. I therefore take this singular honor to invite Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Mama Janet Museveni to step forward and receive the award, but Dr. Moon and your beautiful wife should step forward. Dr. James Flynn, step forward, please. The Chairman, Interreligious Council of Uganda, Archbishop Jeremiah Muzei, for Global Peace Foundation Uganda chapter, kindly step forward. Before the award, Dr. Jinman Kwak will read the citation. Mama Vice President, retired Major Jessica Rosa Pell Alupo, join the President. May I call upon Dr. Jinman Kwak to read the
The vision statement for an African Renaissance, drawing inspiration from the vision that regardless of tribe, religion, nationality, or political party, all humankind is one family under God, sharing common origin and heritage. we affirm our commitment today to jointly advance this vision for peace and unity at family base for socio-economic transformation. Motivated by the dream of a vibrant, peaceful Africa that inspires the rest of the world, we commit to uplift our interconnectedness through best practices in peace building, interfaith leadership, intercultural cooperation, empowered by our deeply rooted African traditions of family and spiritual values. We determine to advance this vision of a 21st century renaissance. The President will sign, Dr. Hunjin Preston Mon will sign, the religious leaders will sign, the kings will sign, the First Lady also with our President, and everyone has a copy. Please commit to God that from today onwards we will be one family under God. Your Excellency, you are welcome. Please clap him as he comes with our Mama Janet Museveni to sign and unite Uganda. Wonderful, wonderful. His story is in the making and the heavens are open. We thank you, Your Excellency. We thank you, Excellency. We thank you, Excellency. His Excellency signing and say amen to your neighbor. Amen, Your Excellency. We thank you. We thank you for signing and taking Uganda to lead Africa in launching the vision statement for an African civilization.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency. We would like to hand over the award to you, a gift to appreciate Uganda in the heart of the world, that indeed you are father of the nation, whose stature and identity is defined today. We want to hand over the important heavenly item to you by Dr. Hunjin Preston Mon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The very last item will be a photo moment, but Your Excellency, nkusaba ikirize baba, haruha abana bano abato bahindi bakwenda kuzinira mu katoyita abaijukuru bawe. Dadi nkusaba ikirize na mama. Photo moment. Photo moment. Those who are coordinating, please, as they take photos, let me call upon our next group to entertain us to come over. The Vazukuru Vomzei should come and entertain him as he takes photos.
My name is Mulamba Jeremiah. My name is Mulamba Jesse. We are going to present a poem entitled God's Family Plan. Families are the pillars of the social scene that have a spiritual foundation. Parents play a vital part when the Lord lives in their hearts, with fathers responsible to care, provide, and protect. Two loving mothers bearing children and nurturing them in God's way, and children humble enough to learn as guided, imitating their parents in the way of Jesus Christ. God has a family plan and setting. Those responding to his invitation ought to live by it, preserving society with godly values and virtues. The Almighty God created us as male and female at the beginning of time. Why indulge in identity-confusing behavior now? In his excellent wisdom, he determined what was best suited for everyone who gives life. Accept that in him you are complete, fearfully and wonderfully made, and flee from Satan's evil thoughts. Sexual perversions in every form, defilement, rape, fornication, pornography, adultery, divorce, homosexuality, name it all, are not in God's plan for the family. All these he hates, for they make life to go dim, being propelled by Satan's evil plots. Let us run the rest of life through God's grace, with family as a gift, through which he gives life beneath his best, to live on earth with purpose, eternally to rise, taking Bible truths on families with no compromise.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our dear ones. This is a very good poem. Now, Muzei has other commitments as well. Let us give him time to go and attend to other functions. But in the meantime, he has allowed the Baindi to sing Vandange. Thank you, thank you.
കൊമ്പനുണ്ണി തമ്പുരാനെ കൊമ്പിടുന്നി ഞാൻ ഇമ്പമോടുയർത്തി വേണം കമ്പമെല്ലാം ഒഴിത്തിന്റെ മുമ്പിൽ വന്നു വിളങ്ങണം സാധിക്കും ചൊല്ലാൻ നല്ല മീൻ കണ്ണിയ വാണി നല്ല പോലെ തുണയ്ക്കണം നല്ലതും വല്ലതായിടും നീ തുണയ്ക്കാൻ ഞാൻ വ്യാസനും ഗുരുക്കന്മാരും ഈശ്വരും ഈശ്വരിയോടെ സംശയത്തിൽ അഴകോടെ വാസം ചെയ്യണം തൃച്ചൂരന്മാരും മുപ്പാരീതിയിലുടയോന്റെ അയ്യപ്പാനിൻ കഴലീണ ഞാനെപ്പോഴും വന്നേ കാറ്റുമോളം പേരിട്ടുള്ള കായലിൽ തമ്പുരാക്കന്മാർ കൂട്ടനായോരോടി വച്ചു വലിക്കും നേരം 2 നാളും ഗണപതി കണ്ടുവച്ചു വലിക്കുമ്പോൾ മിണ്ടാതെ വലിച്ചെന്നാവിൽ വലത്തി നേരും പാട്ടുപാടിക്കൊണ്ടു വലിച്ചെങ്കിലോ വലത്തി നിന്നു കോട്ടമുണ്ടാമതിനൊരു പാട്ടുപാടുന്നേ
മേഘണീതാ പീലിയുമായിരേ മേൽത്തോണും മേനിയും തെരൈ പിടിത്ത രണ്ടും കൈയും നീയും എന്നേക്കും വാഴ്കവേ തെരൈ വാഴ്ക വാഴ്ക നമ്മുടെ പരീക്ഷയെല്ലാം ഭൂമിമേൽ തെരൈ വഴിക്കുറായി നടക്ക വേണ്ടി വന്നവരോ നാമെല്ലാം തെരൈ അഴിവുകാലം വന്നടുത്തു അലയുന്ന നിൻ മക്കളെ തെരൈ അഴിയായി വണ്ണം കാത്തരുൾവാൻ കഴിവു പേശുക മാർത്തോമൻ
Thank you very much, our dear Indian community. Thank you very much for being part of our family. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for being a father of all cultures. You are so hospitable that everybody is comfortable in Uganda. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now, as we conclude, we are going to have our anthems in reverse order. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, Ma'am. Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, our dear guests from the U.S., from Africa, We are very, very, very grateful. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you. God bless you. I'm Grace Mary Mugasa, Minister of State for Public Service.
Sky TV, irakari abantu.
bali biwandiise eggwanga lye bwe nali omuto nga njagala nnyo okubeerako ku muzindaalo nga pulezidenti ne maama we bali kati ne bwenfe enkyanze bye nali njagala ku nsimbi mazzi. Your Excellency sewe bale kubeerawo basebo ne banyabo jajja abazzukulu jajja mwami ne jajja mukyala bafumbye ebigagu temubirekanga temulidde ebigagu abaana endulu ya jajja ne jajja mukyala gyeri endulu y'emmere gyeri jajja tafumba pizza afumba byaffe bya wano bya bulijjo ate abaana n'abatabani nammwe ebyokulya weebiri twebaza nnyo abaweereza aba safacca oba mukategedde akasafacca abasafacca mwebalire ddala ebyaffe mubimanyi ebya asiekifani awo sijja kwongerako abasafacca mwebalire ddala maama wange sibula abantu
mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala okujja mulungi bwemuti ananga omukolo mugweseza ekitiibwa n'okusingira ddala His Excellency the President ne maama ne Vice President n'aba ministers abaliwo n'aba Global Foundation bannange mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. Yes. The police band, that is a very good tune. Your Excellency, thank you so much for gracing this occasion. And our mama, thank you so much. And the leader of the Global Foundation,
Sky TV, irakari abantu.